So we went on a long trip over the weekend to Knoxville, which is you know, uh 5-hour drive from here over the mountains. So had a nice trip, the two of us. And then I went and I gave a seminar speech at a laboratory, and then came back. And yeah, it's there was a time maybe over the period of about a day where it felt like I was right on. Like I mean, in the past when I've had spiritual experiences and breakthroughs, they've been very, very energetic, very blissful, uh, a lot of love, ecstatic. This was very gentle, and it just felt like all of a sudden I was resting in perspective. And 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 it's like you discussed, like I could just see that there was no difference when people around me were speaking. It wasn't constant over the period of a day, it went in and out throughout the day, but it's very non-threatening.
Yes.
It felt like it did not feel like death. It felt like, yeah, you could just live here. This is here.
Mm.
It almost feels like it's there for whenever I want to just rest there. And
Yes.
in the mornings when I meditate, I now walk about 20 minutes to a place out in the forest, and then I sit for 30 minutes, and then I walk 20 minutes back. And sometimes, I've just gotten up, I've had my tea and just eaten, and on the walk there, my mind's going off on my day or things I need to do or just daydreaming or whatever. And then sometimes halfway through the walk, or sometimes it lasts till I'm sitting for a while, but then it's just sort of I can just rest. I can just rest in awareness, you know, and
Yes.
see the state of no difference. It's like I'm getting access now. And I know it's always there anyway. Yet
Yeah.
starting to be able to rest in and recognizing it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah, it is always there. It is always there. No argument, no misunderstanding, no activity, any kind of activity can make it to go away. It is always there. It is a thought that says, oh, it has gone away. Now I don't feel it. No, it's always there. It thoughts, activity, movement, it's just there. It doesn't go away. It's just a switch of attention.
So
Yeah.
you're going in and out a little bit.
Let me check. Okay, I'm gonna fix that. Yeah, it's just a switch of attention when the attention is focused on the activity, and then it seems that it's gone. There'd be a dot that says, "Oh, now it's gone. I wish I could be there 24/7," but it's never gone away. It's just there. It's just that you switched the attention back to the activity. But when you bring it back to that, which is no activity at all, it is seen that it's just there, it's just been there. And it's always what you are, really are, not the idea or imagination about yourself, not the character. It has always been this, which is nothing. Also appearing as a character, also appearing as an activity. That is seen when the attention is there in this stillness, that even the activity and the movement is still this as well. It's not that it's separate from this. There is an activity and a backdrop. No, it's just one thing. Yeah. So it is beautiful, always beautiful. So even right now, as we are having this conversation, there's just this. Even after the conversation, there's just this. Even when we are asleep, it doesn't sleep. It doesn't go away. It is always
Even,
there. The body
even when the
sleep.
Wi-Fi is not working, it's still there.
Yes. Yes. It's always there. It's always there.
So I learned this little trick this week. You see up in the upper right-hand corner, there's three buttons, the like the minus sign and then the box and then the X.
Yeah, yes, I can see it. Yeah.
If you hit the box, it will make the pictures of us a little smaller. Not the X, but the box. Do you see it?
Yes. Should I click on it?
Yep. And then you can make it a little bit bigger.
Okay. Let me choose it. Just this.
That apparently that helps make it so that there's a little less that has to be done.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's already here. It's already here. This seeing alone as it is, it's just seeing. It's more like space. It's more like they're just formless eyes and there's no body. Formless eyes seeing. Formless eyes in just an empty space. There's no head, there's no body, there's just eyes. There's just seeing. There's nobody in it. There's no man or woman in it. It's not a man or a woman. It's beyond birth and death. It doesn't have any culture. This seeing alone as it is, it doesn't have any culture. It doesn't have any gender. And it doesn't have any agenda. It's just here. It's simply this. You can call it whatever. You can say it's spaciousness, God, Christ, Buddha. It doesn't really mind because it's already nameless, formless, and empty. It doesn't have a story in it. The story may seem to appear of the imaginary somebody who was born one day, who has a family, who works. The story may appear, but it doesn't really disturb this. Somehow, at times, it may also identify with the story itself. And it may seem as if there is a real somebody there. Oh, I'm this person, But it's still just this seeing alone, this empty space, this undisturbed silence. It has never been a human being. It has never been a man or a woman. It has never been any biological being. It has always been itself. When there's a recognition that there's just this, it is seen that you have always been yourself, but not as the body, as that which is unseen, which is formless and everywhere present, also appearing as everything, including the body. So the seeing itself without explaining, talking about it, it's already there. It's already there. It is simple beyond even the word simple. It is effortless and obvious to itself, not to somebody. I would say you would just simply feel and notice. But this is not directed to certain somebody. It can only be directed. It could only be this directing or helping itself in a way. Feel and notice that it's already here. It's what you are. It's just this. So to say the thought or the sense I am the body, or the thought that says I'm the body, it's imaginary. This has no imagination. This is not an imagination. This is sometimes I would say just look. Looking in a way is not the same as imagining. Imagination is when something that is not there, you bring it here, like yesterday. You say yesterday, it's like there's yesterday, but there's no yesterday here. It's just, you know, bring tomorrow. the story of somebody. It doesn't exist. It's not here. Well, where is it? If we were to look for a story of Charles, where is it now? Or you could say it's in the memory, but where is the memory? It's in the past. Where is the past? Can it be seen? Can it be held in view? Then if it can be seen or held in view, by whom? So there's nothing here. There's nobody here to know anything or become anything. There's just simply this. This has no family. This has no past. This has no future. It has no present even. It's just this. Appearing is what seems to be everything, including this talking that seems to be going on right now. Waiting. Appearing as waiting. Appearing as expectation. Appearing as thinking. Appearing as a question or as an answer. So this, in a way, it doesn't know itself. Accepting in the imagination. Doesn't really know itself. It doesn't see itself. Right now. You could say not seeing itself is seeing itself.
You know what artificial intelligence is?
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah. Artificial intelligence is at the cutting edge of computing right now. So they get massive massive amounts of computers, on the order of what Google would have. And it scans in all of this information, like all of the digital information in the world that can possibly get its hands on. And then they train it to be able to understand your questions or understand things that you have to it. And then it gives you answers based on that amount of information. And they've just started to release ones that are very sophisticated. So I've been playing with it. And for example, one of the things that I did was I cut a bunch of texts from our discussions, from our YouTube discussions, our dialogues. Yeah. And then I pasted it into the artificial intelligence window. And I said, turn this into an academic paper. Or turn this into a poem by Emily Dickinson.
Wow.
And it does, so paraphrase Nkosi in these different ways. And one of the things that I did was I said, pretend there's a conversation between Jesus Christ and Nisargadatta Maharaj about sin. what would they say? And of course, it's a little goofy in terms of how it's worded, but it actually gets it. It actually dives into Nisargadatta's beliefs and Christ's beliefs and well, not beliefs, but the actual texts, and gets them to agree on what sin is as being a misunderstanding using Christ. I mean, in a way that most Christians wouldn't see.
Mm.
But and people are very afraid of artificial intelligence because they think it's going to take over jobs. Some people are afraid of artificial intelligence like people are afraid of aliens because they think that the computers are going to take over the world. But it is extremely interesting to see how well it does what it does as fast as it does, and to think about what's the difference between that artificial intelligence and the apparent me or the apparent Nkosi, because all the artificial intelligence is doing is dipping into these data banks and using that as, memory to come up with answers, which is all we're doing, which is all any of us are doing, and the answers it comes up with is how good it is at dipping into certain pieces of information. What's the difference? I mean, in a way, the artificial intelligence is empty, right? Because there's no consciousness in those words that pop up on the screen, paraphrasing Nkosi, for example. But on the other hand, there's nothing but consciousness anyway. And it's not localized anywhere. So what's the difference between the words popping up on the screen and the words popping out of my mouth right now? Maybe none. It's very interesting. It's causing people to really think about the differences between what makes us us. And people are starting to write about it a lot in magazines and stuff because it's so startling. This is stuff that's it's been around for 40 years, but there's just been huge breakthroughs in the last 2 or 3 months that are almost like Google, where you can go and play with it and like you can get it to write a newspaper article in like 30 seconds, right? So it's
Yeah. Yeah, it's I think it's because no way when you are a newborn, there's no program, there's no data, there's no information, there's just emptiness there. Then you go to school uh, because your parents have gone to school. They're like from time to time when they're talking to that infant or that young baby, there's a program. There is a program that seems to be going on, and when it goes to school, that little child, then the school as well is another some type of a program. So you learn that 1 + 1 is equal to 2. You learn logic. Yeah, but as well, the AI it's a program. So
yeah, it's
yeah,
very interesting.
but stillness, the backdrop, the formless, or should I say, formless presence, is just there. It's just there. Everything and that seems to appear, it springs out from it. There's nothing that can appear outside of it, because there's only it. So everything that seems to appear, it can only appear from it as it, because there's no separation.
It feels like for a long time, humankind depended on its work, like in the fields or hunting with spears or building houses. It's just manual labor, that's what we thought of ourselves as, you know. And to be strong and to be able to do that stuff was, and then, technological innovations came around and made those things easier to do. And then it became knowledge based, right? So how much knowledge do you have, to be able to know what to do? Well, then we have the internet now, right? Doesn't really matter if
Yeah.
anybody knows anything because they don't know anything. They can just look it up, right? In a second. So that's not an important thing to do. So now then the focus became on creativity, right? How much can you invent? If this artificial intelligence can invent
Mm.
anything that you ask it to invent really quickly, it feels like there's these technological innovations stamp out what it means to be a person, in ways that are beautiful, right? And rich. Being rich is another one, right? If I can be rich, then I can have all the stuff I want. Well, what if things become so cheap that it doesn't matter? Everyone has everything they want. Well, I guess it doesn't matter to be rich.
Yeah.
All this is like stamping out and creating more opportunities to point at people to say, what is it that's real, 'Cause we always sort of feel like we're in competition with each other, but if you take the finish line away, nobody knows where they're running to. Turn around and run in a different direction, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the same as when somebody, like for instance, thinks that by getting rich, he'll be happy. Then when he's rich, he discovers that, oh, still not happy. I'm a billionaire, but there's something lacking. And the person may end up buying the whole world, but still, you know,
Yeah.
then, yeah. So true happiness is within, is finding what you really are, not the program, not what you were told you are, but finding that which was there even before you were given a name and a surname.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even right now, you're already that. You're already that. It's just a matter of switching the attention, bringing it back to this, which is already here. In a way, it seems to be out of focus. And then when this is not out of focus, then the activity itself, the people walking around, cars shooting, people talking, it will seem to be out of focus. You don't mind what's happening. You don't mind that the chatter, the mind chatter, blah 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 blah. I wish I could go to that store. It's just it doesn't mean anything. It's not important anymore. You can listen to somebody who's talking, but you're not really listening. Stay in the background, playing in the background, blah 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 blah.
Sometimes when you look at people, it just feels like you can see two things. You can see the light and you can see the programs, layers of programs around the light, filtering the light so that the light thinks that it's the programs. Sometimes you just see right to the light. You're like, what's this program stuff is that you think you are?
Yeah, that's true. When the person is complaining about life, that life has not been good, you can see like directly that person is okay. It's just this light saying, "Oh, life is not good." It's very funny. It's very funny.
It is funny when you see it,
It's
but
a plague.
you might not want to tell them that because you'll break their program.
Yeah. You don't have to tell them. You don't have to tell them. Just simply observe. you know. Watch the movie. Buy some popcorn. And
So I don't know about your so do you know about evolution? You know about evolution, probably, right? Theory of
yeah.
evolution.
Yes.
I have been really down on the theory of evolution lately.
Mm.
People think that there's two things. There's two ways that we could have got here, right? Either God created everything, or this magic random stuff that, you know, dying, random mutations, a little bit better, dying, random mutations, a little bit better, like and obviously things that are not hospitable to the environment die out, and things do change. Things do change to meet their environments, but to me, the full everything is creative. You know, if you just look at nature, you can just feel that creativity is everywhere,
Yeah.
organically, intrinsically creative. You know, so
Mm.
much so that consciousness and creativity of consciousness is at the core of what everything is. But we think it all comes from our minds. So if we think it comes from our minds, there's no way that a tree could be creative, right? It can't happen. No way a tree could be creative. Nuh-uh. But they've discovered, all these algorithms that the trees seeking the water and, the sunlight. Um, and the algorithms change. The way that the leaves and the branches go, they change. So who's telling it to change? It just changes. It knows. It's its own thing, like we're our own thing. You know, since we can't find a brain and we think that everything comes from a brain, but I don't think our creativity comes from a brain. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know. They've started to give bacteria problems.
Mm.
Bacteria doesn't have a brain, right?
Mm. Mm.
But if you put like bacteria likes to eat fruit, it needs sugar, right? So if you can
Yeah.
create mazes, um, you can create mazes for bacteria, and it will go through the mazes to get the fruit, like a mouse or a human.
Mm.
So much so that they've done things like taken topology of Tokyo and the United States and Europe in terms of the landscape, the sea and the mountains, and made that impediments for the bacteria. And they've actually made it so that and then put the fruit where the downtowns are, right? And by
Mm.
doing that, they've gotten bacteria to reproduce the transit systems of major cities.
Oh wow.
Because
Yeah.
it's a shortest path problem, right? It's a multitude of entities solving a shortest path problem, which is what transportation engineers and what people figure out when they're trying to get, from here to there.
Yeah.
Bacteria just knows how to do it. But bacteria doesn't have any brain, right?
Yeah.
It's just created. And there's bacteria everywhere. Everything has got bacteria on it. It means every surface, everything is created just from the bacteria alone, right?
Yeah. Because there's no separation.
Because there's no
There's no
separation.
separation. Yeah, we think that's because animals are small, we were taught that animals, they don't understand anything, they have no brain, but they are very intelligent, same as you are.
Yeah.
No,
Are
I've
more
seen,
intelligent.
yes, they're more intelligent. I've
The
seen,
programming isn't as bad.
sorry?
Their programs aren't as bad as mine. There's not as much programs in
Yeah,
the way.
yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
You were saying,
Yeah, all animals are the same. They are all the same, because you could see the ants going around uh, gathering food and storing them in their houses. That's a high level of intelligence as well. You know,
yeah.
they walk in a straight line. There is a path that they have to use. You know, only those who don't listen, you find them going around.
Well,
I
that's a
believe
rate.
there's a certain language communication. Hmm?
Yeah, definitely. But the ones that are
Yeah,
straying, they have a purpose. The ones that aren't
yeah,
going in a straight line, those are looking for food. They're sacrificing to look for food. If they know, then they go back and tell the others, right? They're hunters.
you know, yeah. In the same way, when there's a danger, they are able to, hey, watch out. Go, let's
Yeah.
go back. So they are very intelligent.
Have you ever seen clusters of hundreds of birds flying in the sky or bats?
Yes,
You know,
yes,
and you can see the way that they're doing, and as fast as they're doing it, they're acting like they have S1 mind. You know,
yes. That's beautiful. Yeah,
yeah,
I've seen. Yeah,
it's amazing. It's
yeah. They all
beautiful.
move. Yeah, they all move to the right, or move to the left, and all move up and down. At the same time, it's very beautiful. It's very beautiful.
People do that, and sometimes it's very ugly. You know, there's a phenomenon with the masses of crowds. That all of a sudden start to act as one being. It's kind of a known phenomenon where crowds can take over and act
Yeah,
for better or for worse. For better or for worse.
yeah. This just everything is one because everything is an expression of this, which is has no separation. This stillness, undisturbed silence, appearing as everything. So it's in a way, it expresses its intelligence in everything. Mm. At the same time. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, God is everything. God is everything. God has no separation. When you talk about God or this, you can't talk about the singular thing. It's all encompassing. I don't know. It's the right word. It's everywhere present. It's everything. So this is effortless. This is effortless. It has no effort. It has no effort. It is obvious. It is here even before searching, even before thinking happens, even before looking. It's already here. There is no efforts at all. There is no efforts. There are no steps. And there's nowhere to get to. There's simply this, just this. Oh, I wish this could be different. It's just a thought appearing in it as well. This is exactly as it is, and it's beautiful. The way it is right now is just the way it was supposed to be. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful without fireworks. It doesn't need anything to happen for it to be what it is. It's simply this, which is nothing. So everything is empty. All these bodies are empty. It is empty and full at the same time. So the one who's searching for it is already it. So what is being searched for is already that which is searching. Already. So there's nowhere to go. This doesn't move, doesn't go away. It's always here. There's nothing. The looking behind those eyes is not somebody. It's not a human being. It's not a man. It's not a woman. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's aliveness. It's full of life. It's not nothing as in blank. No, it's just alive. It's full of life. Beautiful. So in a way, everything is new. It's always new. It's ever fresh because there's no past. What seems to be things, they are appearing from that which is ever fresh. So they are also seen as ever fresh, beautiful, always new, shining. Shining as when, as like the sun. The sun is always shining. Whether they are clouds, black clouds, red clouds, yellow clouds, there above the clouds, the sun is always shining. It's always shining even when it's dark. It doesn't, when it's dark, it doesn't mean it stops shining. It's always shining on the other parts of the world. Shining, still shining. So what's your eye is always shining. Lights, beautiful, effortless, and obvious. Doesn't go away. So just a matter of looking from where you are looking, not looking at the activity, the object, the movement, looking, looking from where you're looking. The answer is always there. The answer to everything. Look where you are looking from. Sometimes this imagination or this uh, thought of being separate somebody can also, in a way, be used to find out, to discover the truth. When something says, "Oh, I'm looking," but then look, I can say, "Look from where you're looking from." Mm. Not that I'm accepting that there's a real you, separate self to look, but I can actually meet someone from meets that person from where meets that idea from where it is and just work around there and work with it in a way. But here it is seen that there's just vastness, empty space, spaciousness, aliveness, the sun shining all the time. Looking from where you're looking from, it is seen that there's no one looking, there's just simply looking. Oh, So what you really are is the truth. The truth is not outside of yourself. The truth is yourself. It's what you are. Just this, everything.
I think it's time, Nkosi.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she's ready.
I think I heard her.
Yeah.
Say hi to her for me.
Okay. I will. I will.
Okay, next Tuesday.
Definitely. Same time.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks for the book.
Yes.